Hi, welcome back. This is my second of 3 videos on the Ovid prescription for 2023 to 2024, Narcissus Falls in Love. I've had a look at Echo Falling for Narcissus, I'll look at the Latin, I'll translate into the English, and I'll walk you through the effects for 8 and 10 markers. Here the boy, tired by the heat and his enthusiasm for the chase, lies down, drawn to it by its look and by the fountain. While he desires to quench his thirst, a different thirst is created. While he drinks, he is seized by the vision of his reflected form. He loves a bodiless dream. He thinks that a body which is only a shadow. He is astonished by himself and hangs there motionless, with a fixed expression, like a statue carved from Parian marble. So puer is boy. We've got sitim, like to desire, sitis, and another desire. Bibi, drinks, so lots of GCSE vocab you know. Let's look at the effects. Okay, so the caesura, hic puer, this boy, marks an abrupt change in subject to Narcissus. We've got faciamque, fantamque, syndetic because of the que, meaning and, a little bit of alliteration, but also homoteluton. They have the same ending because of emque, because of the case, and also que. Much like alliteration, this links the two ideas together because of both this and that. We have the balance of Dunque sitim serare cupit, sitis altera querit. While he desires to do one thing, another desire grows. And we see that in the anaphora of dumque, so repetition at the beginning of a line. Remember, don't say the word repetition if you can find a better word for it. If we have a look at the polyptoton, for example, corpore and corpus, we have the repeated stem of a word, and it plays on the mirrored effect of Narcissus's imperfect reflection in the water. The simile and the comparison of the Parian marble is like the myth of Pygmalion, who falls in love with the statue he made himself. That comes up in Metamorphosis 10. And is another example of unrequited love. Flat on the ground, he contemplates 2 stars, his eyes, and his hair fit for Bacchus, fit for Apollo, his hairless cheeks and ivory neck, the beauty of his face, the rose flush mingled in the whiteness of snow, admiring everything for which he himself is admired. Knowingly, he desires himself, and the one who praises himself, praised. And while he courts, is courted, so that equally he inflames and he burns. So, positus is laid on the ground, sua lumina is the metonymy for eyes, sidus, stars, his hair is crines, impubes is actually hairless. Niveo mixtum candore ruborem is like the white, the snow white, nix niveos, is snow, and it's mixed with the red. So some kind of familiar vocab here. Let's look at the effects. So we've got the metonymy in lumina, lights are used for eyes. We've got the balance of both fitting of Apollo and both fitting of Bacchus, et dignos Baccho, dignos Apollo crines. We've got this kind of youthful ignorance of Narcissus in Buesque. The idea that he's beardless suggests he's very young. The colour imagery suggests he's fair, almost like a maiden, and has a luxurious, sheltered life. We have this polyptoton of probat, probator, so active and passive is played with throughout the passage to highlight the dramatic irony of Narcissus being loved and being the lover. So we have probat, probator, petit, petitor, and we've got accendi tetada, burns and is burned, in the word meaning there. Note these pairs are alliterative, which increases the pace. They have the same tense endings because it's the same stem. So we can call this polyptoton, definitely comment on the inversion of active and passive and the dramatic irony that creates, and the alliteration and assonance not only pairs ideas but builds pace. So there's lots you can discuss to get your 10 marker up in terms of your analysis, or your 8 marker even. Okay, let's have a look at the next part. How often he gave his lips in vain to the deceptive pool. How often, trying to embrace the neck he could see, he plunged his arms into the water, but could not catch himself within them. What he has seen he does not understand, but what he sees he is on fire for, and the same error both seduces and deceives his eyes. So again, if we turn to have a little look at some of the effects in this passage, we see that Ovid plays with similar ideas towards the end of this section of the poem. We've got the repetition of quotients, quotients, and that actually repeats what we've seen with echo. So there's a little bit of intratextuality here, and that really emphasises the irony that exactly what happened to Echo is now happening to Narcissus. He's actually the victim of the same person. So there's an element of dark humour to Ovid's passage, even though it's sad. Ovid makes sad situations like this funny. Quid videat nescit sed quod videt oritori lo. So this emotional reaction, he doesn't know, but he feels. And there's an element of repetition and pace. So feel free to pause the video. I'm going to do one final one on Ovid. I hope that's helpful for you, and best of luck with your exams.